BYU basketball. Everybody's pumped. Every day it feels like there's something, right? Either a rumor, report, or an actual hiring. And that is the case as we continue on BYU Sports Nation. Great to have you with us, Jarom Jordan, Dave McCann. Our first guest of the day is a guy who's on the team. He said he's coming back, and it's year to year. You can transfer every year, so you have to declare that you're coming back. His name is Dawson Baker. Dawson, great to have you in, man. How you doing?
I'm excited to be here. I'm doing great.
Basketball certainly is, a big deal, but you're getting married this month.
Yeah.
You got big things going on?
I got big things, a lot of big things going on. So, yeah, I'm excited about getting married.
All right, tell us about the bride-to-be.
Maddie Weeks, Orem, local girl, met her in class.
Which class?
Upper division writing class, the class we both met each other and then quickly dropped after we met each other. So,
What is that class?
the class, like what?
What did you say?
It's a required class you got to take as a writing requirements. There's a lower division, upper division. That was just the upper division requirement.
So you're brought together in this class. You sit down next to her. How does this happen?
We locked eyes. Didn't we?
Wait just a second. Cue the music.
Well, we locked eyes, and then we didn't sit next to each other, but we kind of felt like we sat next to each other. But I sat behind her, like a person or two behind her. Made sure I remembered her name from roll call.
Yeah.
And then had her social media, and so had her connected just in case.
Then you both dropped the class.
Yeah.
So then, had that moment not happened,
never would have happened. So it's meant to be.
So it was a fruitful season despite not playing a ton.
Yeah, took advantage of the timeout. Yeah.
Did the foot injury assist in the relationship building?
It did. It showed me she was a really good nurse. She helped a lot and really sympathetic. So I saw a lot of good qualities out of her because of the foot.
That's awesome.
How's it been physically and emotionally last year? Because you were hoping to play, but your foot didn't heal in the way you were hoping. Did you need to have surgery again to fix that? How are you doing?
Yeah. So I had 2 surgeries, actually 3, but had 2 on my foot. I had 1 extra one on my knee, just a precautionary thing. But yeah, it was weird because I thought the surgery was far enough before the season that it would have been cleared up and everything. Turns out no sign of healing, so there's still a fracture in the foot. Had to get another one, take out the rod, put a plate, bone graft, all the whole deal. But feeling a lot better, responding a lot better now, doing a lot more. So,
will you give us the timeline of because you played a few games and it was super sore. It was clear that it wasn't the same. Did you have that second surgery after that?
Yeah, probably a month after that when I declared I was just going to redshirt. Yeah, during the season. So I didn't. That's why I missed a lot of travel during the season. I was having surgeries and checkups and wasn't able to walk. So that's
That's such a bummer. How'd you deal with it?
It was hard. I mean, I've never done an injury like that before. I must have been out probably a week or something. I never really missed a practice. And so going to have a whole season where you kind of have to sit in sideline, especially going to a new environment where you want to make your mark and kind of earn your right. It was hard to watch, especially we had a good team. And I thought my impact would be great with what we had. So a lot of frustration, a lot of patience. But I mean, there's a lot of good positives I'm seeing out of it now. Having 2 years with the new coach and things like that are something to look forward to.
What did you learn while you had to kind of sit and watch the guys obviously succeed, and that was difficult, like you said, but what were some of the positives that you gained from this?
We got a lot of shooters. I mean, that's pretty well known across the nation. But how I fit in that, I think, serves me really well and serves the guys really well. I think it's complements both of us. I mean, it opens up the lanes a lot. It allows me to play my game and get downhill and get in the paint and play make. And so there's a lot of different openings I see from this school versus my last school that I can take advantage of, which made me super excited.
Do you feel like you've just been, that injuries have just kept you from showing Cougar Nation, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, because they know where you came from, they know the averages and all that stuff, and it's like, well when are we going to see him? And they're like, I'm right here, but I can't move.
Absolutely. That's probably the most frustrating part, just because we got such a diehard fan base here. I was so excited to kind of show them my skill set, and I had the decision just to redshirt right away or play a couple games, see how it goes. And even though I kind of knew the foot was still kind of broken, I was like, I want to at least show what I can do, even if it's at 60, 70%. And so I'm glad I played those games. I kind of just get my face out there, get a little recognition. But that's been the hardest part, That's what I've been kind of waiting for. And every day I shoot, I'm like, man, I can't wait.
I'll tell you, after the San Diego State game, Blaine and I are talking with their staff, and the head coach goes, hey, what's up with Dawson Baker? And you hadn't played yet, right? Because you're out with a foot. And we said, well, they're still kind of waiting. His foot's healing, and he goes, he's the best player on their team. And that was the first time Blaine and I are like, who is this Dawson Baker?
That's quite the compliment from Brian Decker.
Total compliment from an outstanding coach who he said you had lit him up 3 times and they tried everything to stop you. But that's when we were like going, hey, when that's healthy, the sky's a limit. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just as confident as anybody. That's the way you got to be in college basketball, just in basketball in general. Like, you got to be confident and believe you're the best. And so I continue to do that, and people here have helped me feel that confidence, and I'm sure the new coaching staff and the players we got around me, they're also going to feel that confidence.
Talking to Dawson Baker on BYU Sports Nation. April 12th, Mark Pope takes the Kentucky job. Walk us through kind of the timeline of, okay, I got to meet this new coach, and I got to decide if I still want to be here and if they want me, and so on and so forth.
So I was at my fiance's house, and my phone just kept blowing up. I wasn't looking at it. She's like, you should probably check that. So I did. We kind of got the news, and we got a text message to our group chat, and like, we got a meeting at 8 a.m. So we're all like, okay, we probably know what's going on here.
Were you surprised?
Surprised, yeah. I mean, I knew he'd be a candidate for that job. I think we all knew that. I think the amount of people that said no and how the listing went, it was kind of surprising. Yeah. But I knew if the opportunity came, like, it was something that he would look forward to. So not surprised in that regard. But yeah, a lot of gloomy days after, kind of like, what am I going to do, you know?
Well, let's go back to 8 a.m. What happens at 8 a.m.?
So we meet, he comes in, talks to us, and kind of gives us the whole rundown of what's going on. And obviously the Kentucky connection for him was a big deal. And so, I mean, we all kind of get it. A lot of us kind of get it. But yeah, afterwards it's kind of like, this is the guy that recruited me to be here, and what am I supposed to do with that? And for my thought process, I just thought the only wrong decision is a quick one in that moment. Just kind of let time settle, let the cards fall where they may. I knew this is where I wanted to be. This is the fan base I wanted to be a part of. This is the community I want to be part of. You know, the religious aspect is a big part of it. And I knew they would find a coach that was going to fit what I would like. You know, yeah. I knew the candidates were, and so I wasn't too worried. I was just going to let time settle, see how things go, and then make a decision when I had more information in front of me.
All right, well then the information of Kevin Young comes in front of you. What do you think?
I mean, ecstatic. I mean, didn't know much about him, but just to see a resume like that, and I think the biggest thing for me was just seeing his relationships with players in the NBA and how they respected each other. That says a lot about a coach. So I was super excited to kind of get someone like that in here and have a culture of like a player-coach relationship that's super strong, and having someone that's seen everything in basketball, has been through it all. So I'm super excited for the opportunity to work with him.
You mentioned in your post about, hey, I'm returning. Hey, I'm excited about the role that I'll have. What was the conversation like with KY about how he expects to use you?
Yeah, I mean, we had some talks about it, and obviously as time goes on, we'll figure out a little bit more about what that looks like and who's coming in. I mean, we still got some spots to fill, but I mean, he's super excited about extending my game more than it already is. I'm a 3-level scorer, and he kind of knows that, and he's made it known that he's watched a lot of film on me, and super excited to expand my game in the 3 levels that I score in, and see where we can go from there. But I don't see it being much different than what was already kind of in place for me to come here, you know, having shooters around me and be able to play, make baskets when I need to, and settle the game, and drawing fouls and doing what I do. So I think a lot of the things are going to stay the same. I'm just excited to work with someone that's kind of, you know, he's like, we're going to watch film about Devin Booker, things that you do that are similar to him. So having that experience and that relationships with people like that is just big time.
Speaking of Devin Booker, you're down at Game 3.
Yeah.
Suns, Timberwolves, all access pass for the guys. What was that like? As one, you met some of the Suns, but you also, as you mentioned a moment ago, you see your new head coach as a member of the Suns, and everybody in basketball wants to get to the league.
Yeah.
What was it like? What did you take from that?
It's a surreal moment. You know, I haven't been to a lot of NBA games, which is kind of surprising, but like, you know, you see Kevin Durant right there and you feel like you're watching on TV still. It's kind of surreal. But it's awesome to see him in his element, see him working with people that he works with every day, and just see the relationships that he has and the care he has for the game and how much it means to him. And so it was cool to see him in that atmosphere, and obviously a playoff atmosphere, super cool. What
were the players like to you guys? They're like, hey, this is KY's new guy.
Yeah, I think they were kind of like, who are these guys? And then once KY came out and started greeting us and stuff, like, oh, this is must be the BYU guy, kind of guys. And so it was cool. You know, they're respectful, and even though they were kind of down 2 games in that point in the series, they were still super cordial and nice to people around him and showed love to, which is surprising. I thought it was going to be, you know, all about business and getting things done, but they were doing both.
That same thing is to you know, any kids that come courtside now, you can give that
right.
back,
No,
right? Which is cool. Like, you're not stressed. Maybe I should.
Yeah, right. No, that's
in those
good.
moments, it's probably hard, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about this roster, certainly spots to fill, like you mentioned. Dallin Hall and Richie Saunders have chosen to come back. What's the vibe like among the group that is returning? Okay, this is our group, and we still have a couple more guys.
Yeah, I think it's great to have the core that we have. I mean, having Richie and Dallin come back is really big for us. I mean, they just get BYU basketball, and they're a lot of what has built here already. So to have guys like that with experience playing in the Big 12 and also playing for BYU is big time for us. So it kind of gives us a core and helps coach kind of know what to recruit, you know, what we're going to be playing with, and the style kind of helps when we have a core already. So super excited that they're going to play again selfishly for me so I can play this time, but yeah.
When do you think that foot will be cleared where you can take the court full bore?
Right now it's kind of like a day-by-day, week-by-week thing, and we're rehabbing a lot and getting the strength back.
Like August? Is it August the timeline, or September?
I think we're quicker. Like right now
Really?
I'm pretty full board going. We're just kind of taking it minimal kind of workouts right now, but I think in the next month for sure I should be like completely 100, no limitations, feeling great, and so yeah.
Cool. Be careful.
Yeah. We're excited to see you play full bore. It'll be awesome. Thanks for taking the time and coming on in.
Obviously.
And congratulations.
Best of luck with the marriage this month.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you.